What do you get when you cross a semi-dystopian 1991, bad acronyms, and David Carradine? It's not often you find a movie so delightfully bad that it manages to swing all the way around and become good. Future Force is one of those movies. In the film, the government has removed police forces entirely, leaving protection to a group of self-employed cops. John Tucker, played by David Carradine, is a COPS officer. He is tasked with eliminating a news reporter framed for treason, but when Tucker learns of the corruption within the COPS organization, instead of upholding the law, John Tucker will be forced to fight it. For those of you who don't know him, David Carradine was once a kung fu action star, specifically in the 1970s when he had his own television series. He was later cast to play Bill in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill series. Between those points, however, Carradine managed to hit a string of lows, specifically starring in Future Force. If you watch the film, you start to notice something is off. He slurs his words.
Boy, you built for me. Saved my butt again.
Stumbles a little bit and looks very tired and sweaty. Is he drunk, you'll ask? Yes. Yes, he is. Billy is a cripple and a computer whiz. What is it with the 90s computer geniuses? Tucker took him in at the age of 6, raising him like a son? Maybe? Their whole relationship is odd and confusing based on the dialogue between them. They act kind of like work friends, one being the brawn, one being the brains, but it feels like there's supposed to be more? I don't know, it's weird. Not only is Billy a computer genius, he also wields incredible ability in hardware design. In order to assist Tucker, Billy builds a robotic glove that shoots lasers. This is pretty incredible technology for 1991. Together, Billy and Tucker hunt down and eliminate targets for the cops. Here's a question. Where is Billy? From the dialogue, we can deduce that Billy and Tucker must live together as they share rent money.
Right, rent money.
But aside from video chats, Tucker never shares the screen with Billy. In fact, I asked DC Douglas, the actor who played Billy, about his time working on Future Force, wondering if he could shed any light on this or the film at all. He replied with a link to an old blog post from 2011. According to Douglas, the entire time he only had a smudge on the wall to react to. That smudge was David Carradine. Ironically, David Carradine also was somewhat of a smudge throughout the film, so while Douglas recalls it being difficult, it likely wouldn't have been any better. We also have slight confirmation that there was something wrong with David Carradine during filming, as he doesn't recall much of that movie, or didn't recall. In charge of the cops is the treacherous Jason Adams, an angry man who bites off more than he can chew. Drink. Yeah, drink. He drinks a lot in the movie. A lot like David Carradine. In fact, this scene made it into the final film, completely uncut. Much like this movie, there isn't much depth to his character.
You want a piece of the action?
He's greedy.
You could say that.
Angry.
Because no one, and I mean no one, is gonna take down Jason Adams!
Oh, and his personal assistant slash hitman is John Locke from Lost. Sure, there's some other characters, such as Marion the news reporter, but she barely does anything. Once again, the leading lady is relegated to the side, playing an object, not a human being. In fact, you could even replace her with the tape she nearly releases on television. That's how little character development she has and importance as an actual human being. It's ridiculous. Somehow, she develops a case of Stockholm Syndrome, falling for Carradine. In regards to her character's motivations for this, it's madness. It doesn't make any sense. But when you look into David Carradine's eyes, you just... wow. There aren't really many other characters in the film. A bunch of one-offs, people without any speaking lines, so I'm just gonna highlight two of my favorites. Snake Plissken.
Call me Snake.
The typical woman, because you can't have an all-boys club. And that's about it. Future Force actually follows through with a lot of smaller pieces of setup. Granted, none of this is nearly as intricate or subtle as those found in The Prestige or Fight Club, but then again, they aren't even in the same league. For instance, Lady Cop tries to seduce Tucker for reasons unknown. This sets up her soft spot for Tucker, an unlikely occurrence based on her hard-as-nails exterior. Or the rivalry between Adams and the not priest? I don't really know what this guy's deal is. Or that David Carradine likes drinking. They even use Chekhov's gun and the rule of threes with the robotic arm that Billy built. Let's talk music. None of it fits. It's awkward. All of it. There's so many scenes that are just ruined by the upbeat 90s music pumping into our ears. While there wasn't much tension to begin with, it evaporates immediately upon playing any of the songs. Let's talk about the logic of the film. We have John Tucker, who has an object, and the only person who wants this object is Jason Adams. But when Jason Adams no longer wants the object that John Tucker has, it loses all worth to Tucker. He has no reason to keep it around. So, why does he just perpetually bring the object with him everywhere? There's no point to it. And it's been earlier shown in the movie that he doesn't really have much of a heart. The only person we've seen him care about prior to this is Billy, and even then we only figure out his backstory and reasoning why much later in the film, after already dedicating time and potentially risking his life for the object. Doesn't really make much sense. Here's a scenario. If someone hires you to do an odd job, just for cash on the side, and they agree to pay you once the job is finished, if you kill them before they can pay you, then you are not obligated to be paid. In fact, you'll likely go to jail and pay money to other people. But still, what is the logic going through the C.O.P.S officers when they kill Jason Adams? There's no reason for it. They just kill him because that's what the little thing says. Now maybe I'm just trying to apply logic to a movie that has none, and I should just accept these things that are happening, but come on, just try a little bit. If I call this movie a good, bad movie, I need to at least give you some reasons why it's good, right? Do you like weird, washed-up action heroes who are drunk throughout the entire film? Great! This movie's for you. Do you like metal gauntlets that shoot lasers? Great! This movie's for you. Do you like when old men play hitmen? Great! This movie's for you. Do you like mullets? Great! This movie's for you. Do you like denim? Great! This movie's for you. Do you like slow, uninteresting chase scenes between a helicopter and a car? Great! This movie's for you. Do you like the scene from RoboCop when Ed 209 encounters a glitch and just murders someone? Great! This movie's for you. Do you like weird acronyms that don't make any sense, like C.O.P.S, standing for Civilian Operated Police Systems, replacing cops? Great! This movie's for you. Do you like bad movies that get a sequel? Great! This movie's for you. I would say this is a pretty good way to burn away 84 minutes of your time. You like bad movies, David Carradine, weird acronyms, and not really the future? This is a good time for you.